Bruce Springsteen on WRSC 88.7 FM, Elmhurst College Radio with Hungry Heart, one of the main tracks off of The River. A great album, a really, really great album. I feel like that's kind of the era that I like the best out of Springsteen. For whatever reason, I just was never a big fan of Born to Run. I kind of like this era and on as he kind of got into the 80s, so it was a good time. I should say it was a great time. I wish I could have been there, but I'm here to listen to it and have a great time. But this is WRSC 88.7 FM, Elmhurst College Radio. Good Times Friday, and we are here speaking live with Miss Leslie Abrahamson, who is senior staff partner. She actually coordinates all of the events for Relay for Life here in DuPage County. So Leslie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and I appreciate the opportunity to spread the good word about Relay for Life.
Anytime, definitely. I should say my brother and me, we have a band called Tomorrow's Alliance, and we've played at Relay for Life a couple times the past 3 years about. And it's been so much fun, and I feel like every year it gets bigger. You know, like there are more people coming out, and something that's so great about being able to play music there is that I feel like we're part of an event that's really doing something. You know, we play gigs throughout the year and stuff, and I would honestly rather play benefits than Battle of the Bands, just because, you know, like I said, you know that you're really doing something or bringing something to people. So let's start by, let me ask you, how long have you been involved with Relay for Life?
Well, I'm going into my 5th season, and I started there as I lost a job that I really liked because of funding cuts, and I've always been into nonprofit organizations. So I was looking for another nonprofit to get involved in, and I heard that there were openings here. And I myself never really knew all that there was to know about Relay for Life or the American Cancer Society. Mm-hmm. And I think like a lot of other people, I thought American Cancer Society, they do great work with research to try to cure cancer. That's pretty much all I knew about them. And once I got involved in the organization, I was so impressed by everything that they did. My part of it is to raise money for the programs through Relay for Life. But we do free rides to treatment for cancer patients. We have a wig boutique. And there's Relay for Life offices all throughout the country, so there's an 800 number. You can call 800-ACS-2345, and anywhere in the country, 24/7, or you can go on the website, www.cancer.org. And anybody who is going through cancer treatment or a caregiver for someone who's going through cancer treatment, they can get 24/7 support and information, anything to do from clinical trials to help with support services, to free rides to treatment, free wigs, getting help with all the annoying paperwork that comes along with any kind of medical procedure, and help with resources in the community if you're having trouble. It's a very expensive disease. A lot of major diseases are really expensive, and we can help you with that as well. So I'm really proud to be raising money to support the services in addition to research. We have over 46 Nobel Prize winning scientists who've been funded by our research dollars. Wow. And we fund them at the beginning when they have an idea, which means that they're making discoveries that they didn't even know they were looking for. Right. So I think when people hear cancer, and you know, you were talking about Springsteen. I was actually there when in the 80s, and I remember that. But back when I was a kid, the grandparents would talk about cancer. They would say the C word. They wouldn't even say it out loud. So it was such a horrible thing, and people died from it more than, you know, of course you never want anyone to be lost. But these days we're seeing more and more survivors. And so cancer is no longer this horrible, frightening thing that it used to be. It's a shock when you hear the news, but there are more effective treatments, there's earlier detection, there's ways to prevent it. And so one of the things we try to do at Relay for Life is talk about how to prevent cancer, how to go for early detection, take charge of your health so that if you do get cancer, you find it in its earliest stages and there's the best chance for you to survive. So Relay for Life is really a celebration of cancer survivors, and it's a celebration of all the progress we're making and everything that each of us can do to prevent cancer. 60% of cancers are preventable by lifestyle choices. So things like making sure you wear your sunscreen and a hat when you're out in the sun, not smoking, exercise, healthy diet, stress reduction. There's tons of things you can do to prevent cancer in the first place. And then if you do get cancer, there's early detection, making sure you're going to the doctor and getting checkups, being aware of your own health, your own body. You see a strange spot on your skin, you get it checked out right away, and you have a great chance of surviving more than ever. So I always thought that it would be really sad to go work at the American Cancer Society. You know, how sad to work with cancer patients. It's been the opposite. It's been so uplifting to see the stories of people that did catch the cancer early, or even someone who lost a loved one. They get involved and they volunteer with us, and you know that they're doing something to save more lives. And Relay for Life got started in 1985 with Dr. Gordy Klatt, and he was a doctor that just wanted to raise awareness and funds for cancer research and try to prevent cancer. And he decided to do a stunt where he wanted to run and walk around a track by himself for 24 hours. And of course, you know, you drop dead if you did that, you know, really. But so he would take some breaks just to be sure he was okay. And his friends took over for him, and that's how the Relay idea got started. And that was one guy in Tacoma, Washington in 1985. And now Relay for Life is in over 5,000 communities in the United States and in 21 countries around the world. And it's the most successful fundraising event or activity in the entire world. And we raise money for cancer research and patient services and prevention programs. And we're just doing a terrific job. There's 18 Relay for Lives in DuPage County. And if you need to find a relay near you, anywhere in the country, you can go to www.relayforlife.org, and I'm sure we'll repeat that again for you. You can go on the website and type in a zip code and find a relay near you, and they're just all over the place. They usually are between spring and summer. June is probably the biggest month, but there's a few in August. There's a few college and youth events in April and May. But we just invite the public to come and join us. We celebrate cancer survivors with a special reception. They get a free dinner, a free t-shirt. And then we have a special lap. The first lap of the walk is for the cancer survivors. And I tell you, I've seen it dozens of times over the 4.5 years, and it just makes you cry every time you see it, because you're seeing these cancer survivors no matter what stage they're in. And it's just really heartwarming to see the ones that are, you know, they're doing okay, they've survived, and the support and Relay just feels like a big hug. And then we have games and activities for all ages, and it's not an athletic event. It's really more like a community festival. So the Relay idea is more symbolic. You walk the track symbolically. We do fun theme laps, where maybe you get something every time you go around the track, or we do like the silly hat lap, or we do the walk backwards lap, or the pajama lap, or some kind of crazy, you know, theme, just for the fun of it. But there's live music, and thank you guys for playing.
Oh, anytime.
You guys are great. And mentioning too that you're doing this as a benefit, we are so successful because we get a lot of things donated. We don't pay for a lot of things. We get bands that donate their time, and thank you for that. We get DJs that give us a free or greatly reduced rate. We get food donated, we get prizes donated. There's all kinds of people that donate things, and so we can use more of that money to go toward fighting cancer. And every year we're seeing more survivors, and it's just a fun, heartwarming event, and we just encourage everybody of all ages to come and enjoy.
Absolutely. Now, you said that this is your 5th season, right? How have you seen the Relay grow in the last 5 years as far as new events within the walk? Like, how have things grown there?
Well, when I first started, we had a couple of towns were joined together, and what we realized was that each town really likes that identity of their own. And so instead of just having one, now if you go into some of the rural areas, you'll have a Relay for Life that's for the entire county. But in DuPage County, for example, all the towns are so densely packed that pretty much every town can have its own relay. There are a few towns like Downers Grove, Woodridge, that is together, and then it also includes Darien and Willowbrook and some of those other towns. But Westmont used to be part of that. And we branched Westmont off into its own event, and it raised a lot more money as its own independent event than it did when it was part of the Downers Grove, because communities really like to identify. So when you call it Relay for Life of Westmont, they really identify with it, and the town gets behind it, and the school gets behind it. And Westmont's a tiny little town, and the high school is really more the size of a grade school, and it's just this tiny little school, but they really are enthusiastic about it. So the more you have a relay that identifies with the town, the more they get behind it and raise money. And I go around all the time, and I do this thing where I'll go into an office building, or I'll go into an office park and just go door to door and just go look around, see what I can find. And I'm always finding some kind of treasure in there, and always people who don't know about Relay. A lot of people who do. So I say, do you know what Relay's about? And some of them say, oh yeah, I did it in college or in high school, or my kid does it. But a lot of people have never heard of it. So one of the things we do is we don't want to spend a lot of money on advertising. But this year, for the first time, our marketing department came up with a terrific ad to talk about Relay. And it goes by kind of quick. I kind of wish it was a longer ad, but it's a fantastic ad. One of the things we do at Relay is we remember people that we've lost by a luminaria ceremony. So we have luminaria bags. We light them with glow sticks when the sun goes down. We write the name on the bag of someone who has gone through cancer, whether they beat the disease or whether they've been lost. We just remember and honor those people. Well, the commercial shows the bags, and it kind of shows the feel of it, and people walking around looking at the bags. So we hope to see a little bit more of that, so more people know about Relay for Life. But right now it's word of mouth. We're a volunteer organization, so we really need volunteers. If you're a student and you need service hours, or you need something to put on your resume, Relay for Life is a fun, great way to get involved in some things. Looks great on your college resume, and it's really satisfying. But we can't do it without the volunteers. But we rely on word of mouth and some advertising that we get to do in the newspaper, Trib Local, papers like that for free. They'll let us put stories in. But we really have to spread the word kind of on our own. So, and appreciate the opportunity to spread the word through here.
Like I said, any time. In fact, we'll have you back on again sometime next month or early June. To get more of the word out, because it really is such a great event. I was present at my band and I were present at the York High School, so that would be Elmhurst. We went to LTHS, that's Lyons Township, Westmont, and
this year you'd probably be at Downers Grove, maybe.
Downers Grove, yeah, we would love to be there this year. I don't remember if we did Downers Grove last year. I don't think we did.
You did not, no.
But either way, though, they're a lot of fun. And one thing is being in a band. We're the band, so sometimes people are like, guys, cut it off. Or people are sometimes rude. Everybody there is always so nice. Just like, hey guys, thanks for coming out, this and that. So it's really great. And then also one thing I wanted to mention was a couple of months ago, I went to an open house at the American Cancer Society building in, I think it's on Finley.
Finley, or Fairview that turns into Myers.
Right,
yeah,
Myers.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yes, and I was there, and I saw you as well as a bunch of people there who were going there to get information on volunteering. People who I didn't even know were part of it. One of those men being Anthony Petruzzi from where I actually work now, and then we had my good friend Ian Crone, who's actually one of the heads here at the college. And there's just so many great people, and it brings out so many people. And if people want to get information on how they can volunteer, they just go to, where would they go to? Would they just go
Well, it depends on where they are. If they're in DuPage County, they can call our office, 630-932-1151, and you'll probably repeat that later. But you can just call the American Cancer Society, the 800 number I gave before, and or go on the website and find an office near you by going, by zip code. But you're right. I mean, it spans people from all walks of life. Somebody that works like Anthony works in the financial field, and sometimes you feel like, well, I want to do something to give back to the community or something that's
Absolutely.
kind of heartwarming. And the thing is, everyone can relate to the issue of fighting cancer, because I've never met anyone who doesn't have a connection. If you go into a room full of 100 people and you ask each person to raise their hand if they have a connection to cancer, everyone's going to raise their hand, because they either are a survivor, they're a caregiver, they know somebody who's had cancer, or at the very least, if you've got that few, people left who don't know anybody, or they don't think they know anybody, then you say to them, well, if you or someone you loved ever got cancer, would you want the best treatment and the best outcome? And you'd have to be a real jerk not to raise your hand after that. But, most people, it's a scary thing to get cancer. But if you said to them, we could get you the best treatment and you'd live through it and you'd be okay, of course they'd want that. So everyone has a connection to cancer. Everyone can do some things to prevent cancer or to catch it in its earliest stages, or to support someone who's going through cancer treatment. And we've got all the resources and tools and support to make that happen. We've got terrific people in our office that do patient services, the free rides to treatment. Our office, you've seen it, it's tiny. My desk is right next to the volunteer that's taking calls all day long to get volunteers to give rides to treatment. And all day long they're taking these calls and getting rides for people, and that's getting them to life-saving treatments that they wouldn't get to otherwise, because their friends and relatives all work. So we do fantastic work. We spend the money really well, And if you're looking for a really good cause and something that everyone can relate to, and it's fun. I always like to say it's good fun for a good cause. I promise you a good time if you come to Relay. And what's nice too is there are no fundraising minimums. You can participate at any level. We encourage you to fundraise. We show you where the money goes, and we give you all kinds of great tools if you want to fundraise. But if you don't fundraise, we still invite you to come to Relay, enjoy, learn about what we have to offer, and we're so confident that you're going to fall in love with Relay, and you're going to be impressed by what we do, that we know you're going to come back next year as a fundraising team, and so we just invite everybody to come.
Definitely. Now, where would you like to see this, or I should say, how would you like to see Relay grow over the next couple of years?
I'd love to see Relay as the thing that everyone does. I mean, that's their cause, because you go to places and there are many, many good causes out there, and I think you choose a cause based on your own personal experience. If you have a friend or a relative that has a particular disease or a particular situation, and you're raising money for that, that makes sense that you're going to go with that. But as far as things that have to do with fighting cancer, Relay for Life is just, it's such, the appeal is so wide, and we use the money so well, and we're getting such great results from it that I really just want everyone to know about it, and everyone to at least come to a Relay and try it. Because as I said, all we have to do is get their foot in the door and they're hooked. And people that have said, well, yeah, I'll come to Relay and I'll stay for an hour, they stay the whole time. One thing I think I haven't mentioned yet is that Relay for Life is overnight. It starts at 6 p.m., goes to 6 a.m. It's not a requirement to stay overnight, so if you can't stay overnight, you're still welcome to come. But cancer never sleeps, and so we stay up all night fighting cancer one night a year. It's also symbolic of the cancer journey. You know, when the sun goes down and you're feeling kind of scared and depressed and horrible, and you're going through the rough patches, and then in the morning when you see the sun come up, that kind of symbolizes the hope of getting through it. And so it's really very powerful. And when I first started, I thought, oh my God, I haven't stayed up all night since college, and I wasn't sure I could do it. But it was my job, and I did it. And it was a really satisfying experience. You felt like you really accomplished something. And, you know, it's dark, and then all of a sudden you start hearing the birds chirping. And then all of a sudden you look in the sky and you realize, wait a minute, it's looking a little lighter. And then all of a sudden the sun comes up, and it's very powerful. And the people that stay all night really find it to be a satisfying experience.
It is. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. A lot of groups of friends go, and they have tents and they have snacks, and it really is just a lot of fun.
It is great, and we encourage companies to do this as their team building activity, their company picnic. They can invite their friends and families and coworkers and their clients, and it's just a great way to show visibility in the community. And students can do it as a student group. Again, it looks great on your college resume. It's fun, but you learn some things as well. Absolutely. Families can do it to show kids how to give back to the community. And when you get young kids involved and they're doing something fun, and then they're also seeing that it's for a good cause, something clicks in their brain, and then it becomes a habit. So then they do it in high school, and they do it in college, and they do it in their business life, and it becomes a lifelong habit to do something good for the community, and that just benefits everyone.
It definitely does. Well, Leslie, thank you so much for being on tonight.
Thank
seriously,
you.
And you do such an awesome job. So just keep on doing what you're doing, and it's people like you that are going to get people all over just super involved, so just keep on doing what you're doing, keep on spreading the message, and just keep on giving it your all, which you're definitely doing.
Well,
so,
thanks,
like
and anybody wants to help me in that, as I said, we're a volunteer organization. Give us a call. We never can have too many volunteers, and you will enjoy the experience. Thank you
Leslie,
very much.
thank you very
you.
much. So
Thank
you guys can check out Relay for Life at www.relayforlife.org. You can also find a relay near you at www.relayforlife.org. These events run between spring and summer, generally in June, although there are also plenty in August, so please check it out, www.relayforlife.org. Please find a Relay for Life near you. If you guys are interested in volunteering for Relay, please give them a call at 630-932-1151. 932
cool. 1151. I forgot my phone number.
Okay, cool. You guys can give the American Cancer Society a call at 630-932-1151. And if you are a cancer patient or just have any general questions about cancer itself, you can find 24/7 support at www.cancer.org, and you can also give them a call at 1-800-ACS-2345. Again, 1-800-ACS-2345 and www.cancer.org. I want to thank Leslie Abrahamson for being on tonight. And this is Good Times Friday. We'll be right back on WRSE.
Thank you. You did professionally.
Cool. Sorry about that. I couldn't.